Yo, 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 it's DJ Crypto. Hope everyone is having a good new year. Going to get back at it. Of course, the news is few and far between, but now we have some pretty major developments. Right before we come on live today, we have some breaking news from CoinDesk, is where I saw it. But from the hearing today, which we knew was going to happen, BinanceUS has been approved by the courts to purchase Voyager Digital. So, leading up to this, the Voyager UCC speaks tweets just before the hearing, and we heard from them. I'll get that pulled up, and we'll start with that. This is just a reaction response video. This is not a video breaking down Stretto. That's the last thing I want to do is read through all that continuously. But here we have some tweets given by the Voyager Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors, who we call the UCC. So we're going to take a look at some of that. And that was second. So let's go to this one first. 8 hours ago, we start with this one. The BinanceUS transaction will result in greater recoveries for creditors than self-liquidation. First and foremost, people need to understand that. So this has been approved. Now there's going to be some voting and things like that. And of course, we like to talk about that. So the deal has been approved by the bankruptcy courts. Now there's a couple things that we will apparently vote on. The UCC will speak again. We'll get to that in just a little bit. I have some key points and key takeaways that I believe need to be understood. First and foremost, the Binance transaction, which I have been weary of, more so of Binance than BinanceUS, but questions are out on what's good or not. But as long as this has got approved by the courts, great. But this results in greater recoveries for creditors than self-liquidation. So many people are thinking like, hey, why don't we just liquidate? Just give us what's there. Quit paying all of these legal fees. Quit paying all these employees. Quit doing all this stuff. Just stop it all and give us the money back. It doesn't work that way in bankruptcy court or in anything. So what would happen in a liquidation is that many of these altcoins, because we have over 100 on the Voyager app, many of these just get liquidated. All of them get liquidated, but many of these just pretty much talk about flattening out. They would get market sold completely on the market. So however speedily, rapidly that happens, I don't exactly know. I just know liquidation means all of it turns into cash. All the crypto left gets turned into cash. That's why the previous documents that they would put out, don't know where they're at, don't know how to pull them up. I'm sure some smart person can find them. Talks about how liquidation gets you about 20% less than a buyout. Most people are thinking of this as just apples to apples comparison. In a liquidation, you just get the crypto that's there and boom, done. That's not how it works. That crypto has to be sold and it's market sold. So let's take example of VGX. That stuff gets market sold out there, and those holding it off the app just get total annihilated, because if liquidation happens, boom, all the VGX gets sold on the open market. Whatever happens. That's the cash value of VGX. That's what gets dispersed. What Stormex, that's another token I hold, used to hold on there. Well, actually, I held it off the platform. Cardano, all of them. You just sell whatever they have. Shiba, goodness, they have a lot of Shiba. That would just wreck Shiba. You just sell it all, get the cash, divide the cash. That's the liquidation. And because of the market selling, you can't get full value from all those tokens. You market sell it, and whatever the results are, that's what you get. And you lose 15 to 20%. So that's why the Voyager UCC agrees essentially in saying you get more. Number two, putting economics aside. We know the Voyager UCC does that a lot since we're paying you $10 million for essentially very little, not even being involved for most part. But anyways, putting economics aside, we know you're good at that. The most important aspect of any transaction for the UCC was ensuring that all crypto is secure between the transaction closing and when each creditor is able to withdraw a distribution. They've apparently changed the deal some. We're going to get into some of that. Over the last 2 weeks, the UCC has worked with BinanceUS to amend various aspects of the transaction. As we know, they came out and said, hey, all of this was decided on December 8th. We weren't a part of it. Why weren't we a part of it? Because Jason Raznick was hosting Kevin O'Leary, the fraud supporter, in his conference on December 7th. Voyager says, hey, we need to get a deal done. BinanceUS, let's get it done. Boom. UCC doesn't argue, and it goes through. They're announced as the winner. After the fact, they go in and try to arrange some things to be in place, I guess. BinanceUS agreed to make a number of important changes. Great. To summarize, crypto will only be transferred from Voyager to BinanceUS when creditors can immediately withdraw it. The transfers will happen weekly. Okay, so this is actually a good one. I like the sound of this. That means we are not giving the custody of these assets to BinanceUS for them to sit on, and then at some unknown time later, we get to cash out. That was the huge risk of FTX that the UCC and the Voyager legal teams almost cost us. Kirkland and Ellis trash almost cost us because I don't believe that was in there. I don't think it was in there. That would have sucked if they took our assets and then couldn't pay them out when we cashed out. So to prevent that, okay, credit where credit is due, Voyager custody, which has never failed, sits there, holds it. When they can withdraw it, okay, transfer Voyager to Binance, and immediately on that transfer, you'll be able to withdraw it. That is good. I like that. The transfers will happen weekly, so that makes it seem like not all at once. I don't really understand, or maybe like you submit it, kind of like I do on the Fold app, where it's like, hey, I want to transfer this, and they do it every Tuesday, and whatever you said you want to withdraw on Tuesday, it happens. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. I haven't seen the details. I'm just going off the response here. I've been busy. Number 5. There will not be a single substantial transfer of crypto from Voyager to BinanceUS on the closing date. Thank you. That would be at risk in a BinanceUS insolvency. Okay, they learned from their dumb mistake with FTX US. Now, this is good. This is good. This change, along with other agreed upon terms reflected in the amended APA, link below, has made the UCC comfortable with the transaction and garnered the UCC's support. Okay, you already did that before the changes, but hey, whatever. Don't believe anything you say anyway. Additionally, the UCC wanted to ensure that there would be no delays in concluding the bankruptcy cases and making distributions to creditors if BinanceUS transaction fails to close. Okay, there's the CFIUS causing problems, maybe the SEC causing problems, but really I think the risk is at the CFIUS. Okay, one important to note, I'll get back to that. I'm getting distracted. I got some notes. I'll go back to my notes. Let's finish this tweet. To remedy this, the UCC ensured that the plan would include a toggle provision. Okay, the toggle will automatically kick in if BinanceUS transaction cannot close. Okay, that's the fear that I've had. What if something blocks it and we're just going into this again? We're going to lose more time, lose more money, lose more recovery, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now there's a toggle in there. I like the sound of this. If that's the worst case scenario, I like the sound of it. The UCC has filed a statement in support of the transaction and plan, which is available here. Blah. The amended APA is available here. Blah. Okay. Fantastic. Now, this is a big one. I like this too. Given today's hearing and the recent developments in the case, this was before the hearing, the UCC will be responding directly to customer questions via Twitter. What? This group is so stupid. They're annoying. I shouldn't say they're stupid. They're annoying. Stupid in an annoying sense. I'm not questioning their intelligent. They're probably all smarter than I am, but they are incredibly annoying. The UCC will be hosting an upcoming Twitter Spaces town hall. I wonder if I'll be allowed to speak again. More details to follow. Hey, if you're listening in UCC, you're still trash, but some of this stuff is really good. So thanks. That's what we've been asking for. Now, breaking news. We covered it at the very beginning, but if you're just hopping in, BinanceUS gets bankruptcy court approval to buy Invest Voyager. Reuters reported. Okay, great. Let's read through this. Approves the deal for about $1 billion. Initially agreed to sell itself to FTX, but that blew up. And okay, that's it. So that's the gist of it right there. They got approved. Okay, so now let's backtrack and talk about some key things that we need to discuss, think about, know, because we have some things coming up. Just because it's done with the courts doesn't mean it passes all the other problems, and we still have to vote on it. So I want to backtrack and talk about some of the key things that I believe are important to understand. First off, we already covered it. A liquidation, as the UCC confirms as well, is more expensive unless what I mean is we lose more in a liquidation, 15 to 20%. Old documents pointed that out. If you go back to what the buyout was, I think with FTX, it compared the two like 72% and 52% or something like that. Crazy. Liquidation, they just market sell it, done. That decrease is mainly because of the market value. And compare that, like 15 to 20%. Compare that to even if the legal fees were $100 million, that's less than 5% of the recovery. Where am I else? The total cost of employees. That's another one that people have been talking about. Right or wrong, good or bad. Cost of employees figures to be about 15 million. So that's about 1% of the recovery. Okay. So here's one of the questions I had, and one thing I want you to think about is why not some of these other bidders that we heard about that I even, I guess you could say I would support them, but you had Wave Financial, Cross Tower, and INX kind of in that order came out in the news as other bidders. And I will say that should somebody not operating an exchange like this operate an exchange like this, they essentially have to use those employees that so many people are griping about that we're paying still to keep this thing running. Not everybody can run it because there's 100 parts moving around in order to make this thing work and to transfer the assets and all that. It's not just sitting in a wallet, send the contract over here and it's done. Okay. So if we went to somebody else, which is honestly my preference because of the upside, they would most likely have to keep some of these staff or a big chunk of the staff, maybe not all of them, but a huge portion of the staff that we're paying to be there at Voyager would have to go with this company to work with this company to keep this thing afloat. Okay, so you can gripe about that or you can want that or whatever. But all this cost, none of it comes even remotely close to the cost of liquidation. That's as a whole. But let's say for a moment you hold some of these tokens. Now I'm kind of going off the cuff, kind of some of these other theories, hypotheticals. Let's say you hold some of these tokens that Voyager has hold of. VGX, that you hold that off platform. Cardano, DOT, Shiba, Avalanche, whatever those top ones are. I think I've got a list. Somebody shared it. Pat, pretty sure Pat Ackerman shared it, and I know some others did as well. But the top tokens would be Bitcoin. Of course, they don't have that anymore. VGX, Shiba, 28% of the people had it, 6% of the assets. Cardano, Doge, Ethereum, BitTorrent, LunaC, VeChain, DOT, USDC, not as much of that. Solana, okay, that crashed. Some of these big top 10 holdings on the Voyager app. If you are holding some of these tokens off of the platform and liquidation is the answer, if the Binance deal doesn't go through and liquidation is the answer, or some of you guys championing the liquidation, just give me my money. Okay. What that does to the others off the platform holding those assets, boom, there's a big liquidity crisis been going on for months, if not a year. And you take that liquidity crunch and you sell $1 billion worth of assets, which is what still remains. You market sell $1 billion worth of assets spread across, yes, but it's going to crash those tokens that already have liquidity crunches. Less market makers, less liquidity equals much easier to move. So some of the data analysts have been doing this on some of the biggest tokens. They've been watching BNB. They've been watching Solana. They've been watching these bigger tokens, and it's millions of dollars would just shoot it down. Maybe a buying opportunity, but something to be aware of, that a liquidation is concerning on multiple fronts, in my opinion. Let's get to some of the comments. This is mostly just a reactionary video to the developments of what's going on. But yet again, BinanceUS has been approved. It hasn't closed yet. It's been approved. So that's the next step in the process. I think I haven't heard anything new on the VGX contract, which was set aside in the Binance plan to be purchased by somebody else to essentially keep that contract open, maybe give it a new purpose, maybe a similar purpose. I don't know. Apparently multiple people involved in that. What will happen to the stock? The stock is gone. I really want to know what is going to happen with VGX. Most of my holdings were VGX. Losing it all. It's not looking good. The only two tokens I have left on the Voyager app are VGX and USDC. Just like a little bit of USDC, because I was using the debit card, so I would keep money in USDC to just use it. It wasn't like my life savings or anything like that. I was just using USDC for my debit card, had a back charge on a rent payment, and actually my first rent payment, awkwardly enough. And so I just have a couple thousand, 2,500, something like that on there, because it bounced back. So yeah, that's all I have. So I get it. Yeah, it's worth, so little now. But depends on who takes it over. Depends on what purpose it has. Maybe we get something out of it, or maybe it lives another day. I don't know, but I don't like any of it. I don't like any result at this point. So it's whatever. So we can hold our coins on Binance. If you can get on BinanceUS, apparently you can. I don't know about like Texas and others that can't use BinanceUS. I don't know the answer to that. I forget half the stuff I look up anyway. Maybe someone has a good answer. Okay, this person hasn't been paying attention to the details. Is it going to zero? Maybe. Why would Binance use the VGX when they have their own BNB token? They won't. They left it out of the deal so that someone else could purchase it, have a deal for it, give extra value to creditors over time. There's all kinds of things that can happen, but the VGX token has been left out. But thanks for being here. That's a fair point. BNB is a token that is not available on Binance US, but VGX has been left out of this deal. VGX is 0 and we might get 50% coins. Okay, best case scenario, we get 50% coins. There's going to have to be a rebalance. Most people aren't quite understanding that, but you know, all those who look at their account and say, "Hey, I've got Bitcoin on there. I'll get 50% of it." 50% of the Bitcoin is not there. So there's going to have to be a rebalance in order for some people to get the tokens that they have. The cash value of July 5th of these tokens is what's required. And Binance was Bitcoin was at 21,000. So if you're going to rebalance that, ooh, I don't know. But we'll see. What's up, Hermit? Good to see you again. I don't think Bitcoin is being left out. I actually think the opposite. I think you could see actually some upward movement because of the rebalance. Other tokens being sold off in order to get some Bitcoin because they've got to get the cash value of I think it's a $21,000 Bitcoin cash value. Where are you going to get that? Maybe from some of the tokens like FET has gone up a lot lately. There's probably not enough of that on Voyager, but I don't know how that rebalancing is going to work, but there's going to be some movement in altcoins for sure. What is the next important date? I don't think I know. Let me see if I have that noted. If you guys have any more questions, throw them up in the chat. We'll take some more time. This is more of a reaction video, but still we can go over some things to look up and maybe get a video together. Yeah, January 10th, which is today, which was originally, I believe, for the 5th. Now it's for the 10th. That's done. I don't know what's next. I don't know. Neville is saying he thinks it's the 24th. So I haven't looked that far ahead, but it looks like a couple of weeks we'll have something else. Obi couldn't make it. He usually keeps those details for me. So how likely are we going to get a bull run by the completion of the sale? Not very likely in my opinion, but that would really help. Will our recovery potentially improve by the completion of the sale? Yes. The assets are sitting there. If they become more valuable, it's easier to get us the cash value. So yes, same as the FTX deal, it would have helped. Same here. So because they're not like Binance isn't giving $1 billion to Voyager. Okay. That's just the value of the assets. The value of the assets determines what this percentage is that we recover. So an increase in market cap, yeah, helps a lot because that's what hurt it. You know, most people haven't been listening where that's what hurt it. What's the difference? Why so less now is because the market has crashed. It's way worse than when we started with FTX, but that's what would have happened. I don't think we'll get anywhere near 60%. I think if you get the closer to 50%, the luckier we are at this point. It's all bad. So doesn't look like it's going to zero. Maybe there's a plan for VGX. I don't like any of it, but we'll keep our eyes on that. Thanks for tuning in for the video. Just a live reaction. I will have to look over these cases that they shared on Stretto. Let me pull those up for you before I head out. Let me show you where I got it. Let me pull this back up. So on Twitter, the amended APA is here. And so whenever you have time to read 113 pages, have at it. But I don't yet. But soon, I'll look more into the details. Hopefully, we can draw some more things out, figure out what's going on. I'm not in Congress, so I actually need to read this before I vote on it. But there will be a vote coming up. And think about this. If there's a vote to toggle, the toggle is basically a liquidation. If it doesn't close, liquidate. Like stop the dog and pony show, just crash the market. That's basically what that is. Okay, if that's the worst case scenario, just end it. We're tired of it. Boom, done. I'm kind of in favor of what's going on here. I do have my doubts on Binance. I don't trust BinanceUS. I don't trust Binance. I don't need to. I just need the deal to close and get the money, crypto, cash, whatever I can out, and I'm done. I don't care. And then I'll prepare for the next bull market. I will look for new companies. I will look for new opportunities. I will invest in what I want to invest in. My major coins. Boom, boom, boom. All these. These are the ones I'm going for. Having some fun with that. But anyways, if you guys got any questions, reach out to me on Twitter at DJCryptoYT. If I haven't blocked you, shoot me a message. If I have blocked you, just make a new account like all you troll idiots do. Send me a message. Maybe I forgot I blocked you and won't even care anymore. But anyways, y'all have a good night. Hope you have a good new year. Blessings. Prosper. It's probably going to be a long year, but hey, we're going to be here for the next 2 or 3, and it's going up again. It's going up now. Shout out to Fetch AI. That one is killing it. I don't own it, but some little D-bag friend of mine does. Brags about it every day. I don't like him, but he did well. All right. I love you. Bye.